Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Ash Wealth Show with yours truly, Whitney Hutton. This every week we meet and we talk about all those things that have you like stuck in analysis paralysis, that maybe you've lost your confidence when investing. Maybe you've invested in a few deals already, but you've hit a ceiling in growth with your portfolio, or maybe you just feel overwhelmed by all the information out there and are just plain stuck. If you have never invested before or have invested in several deals already under your belt, then you are in the right place, because this is where we help you bust through those obstacles and scale to the next level. So this is me and my crazy crew. I actually, before we launch in, I actually started investing in real estate in 2002, doing live-in flipping and house hacking. And the whole entire time I had this vision in my head that I wanted financial independence and financial freedom. And you know what? When I started living, flipping, and house hacking, that was an amazing step to get me along my path. But I think today's topic is just so pertinent to what most investors struggle with, is that they fail to alter their plan as they move along in their investing career. And that's exactly what happened to me. I was able to generate buckets of cash flow, but I wasn't able to turn that into financial independence because I wasn't able to have stabilized cash flow. I just had these buckets of capital coming in whenever a project was done. But fast forward, my husband and I figured out how to turn our equity into cash flow. And that is the secret to financial independence and financial freedoms, whenever you can turn your equity into cash flow. And just fast forward, what we've been able to do in the last few years is just partner in several $1,000,000 of real estate, mostly residential. Have done several $1,000,000 of flipping on the side, but really honestly, none of this was possible until I figured out how to complete those first 30 per properties using other people's money. Okay. And you know what? Honestly, does it have to be a BRRRR property? Does it have to be a rehab? Could it be a turnkey? Yes, it could. But learning how to create cash flow, that is the key. And I did this all while working, holding down a normal job, being a wife, being a mom, and taking care of other family. So I'm here and living proof that I've done this, and I know that you can too. But what makes what I'm going to share so different today? I mean, you could be spending your most precious resource, your time, with anybody here today. And that's because we are talking about the three pillars that I have discovered along the way that you have to have in order to thrive in real estate, in investing. One, you actually have to have a roadmap, okay? That can get you into financial independence in a fraction of the time than if you were flying without one. And today's topic is going to speak directly to that. Two, you have to have a formula for repeatable systems in the right team. And I have figured out that piece of the puzzle, and I share that with my clients on a daily basis. And then three, you have to figure out how to scale quickly, okay, to build the momentum. And if you can do that, accelerate that wealth build using other people's money, you're just going to throw gasoline on the fire and build so much faster. And that can just be purely by using loans, using bank money. But anyways, you're here because of the feeling it will give you, the results that it will give you. And the results I have had through working through these three pillars is that I have 100% choice on how I spend my time. And I'm choosing to be here with you today and sharing what I know. So let's go ahead and launch into it. Today, we're going to talk about the 5 reasons investors and business leaders fail. Like, why do people not progress? There are 5 commonalities across the board, and any one or multiple of these things can lead to failure in investing, or if you're setting up a real estate business. And so let's talk about those. So the reason why we want to understand these five kind of points of failure is, one is you are either growing or not. Okay. That's really as simple as the dichotomy is. Like, if you're an investor, real estate investor, or a note investor, or whatever type of investor you are, you're either growing your portfolio or you're not. You're stagnant. Okay. And successful investors always know 2 things. They always know their vision. Okay. I call it your why. If you've been hanging here with me through any amount of time, listening to these YouTube videos and podcasts, they understand their vision. They know why they are doing this. And I don't mean like, why I want to leave my job. I want to have more money coming in. No, they know on a deep fundamental level what their why is. Maybe they want control of their time. Maybe they want to leave a legacy for their family. They know that guiding lamppost of what their why is, and they know their outcome. Okay, and we're going to talk about this a little bit today. You have to understand what outcome you're going for. It's kind of like I believe it's a Robert Frost poem. If you don't know where you're going, any road will get you there. Okay. Successful investors and business owners understand their outcome that they're going after. Why? Because it allows them to focus, say yes to certain investments and no to the ones that aren't right for their portfolio. If you don't understand what your investing strategy and where your focus is, you're going to be all over the board. Okay. But most importantly, when you combine your why, your vision with your outcome or your focus, now you're cooking with fire, because you now have a mission-driven business, a mission-driven investing business. All right. So let's dive into the 5 things of reasons why investors fail, businesses fail. Okay. And I lump them together because they're common, they're universal. Well, number 1, the investor or business owner has a limiting belief. And let's talk about this. Your ability to grow will be in direct correlation to your ability to expand what is possible. All right. I'm a huge Tony Robbins fan and follower. What the brain can conceive, it can achieve. All right. So if you have a limiting belief and you don't learn how to bust through that or deal with it, okay, it may never go away. Maybe it creeps back up, but it keeps you in a box. You are going to be limiting your ability to grow. All right. So really being brutally honest with yourself. Do you have a limiting belief? And learning how to deal with that and reframe it is pivotal to your success. So let's talk about those limiting beliefs. Some common limiting beliefs are, you hear these statements: I can't do, I don't have enough time to, I don't know how to. Okay. These all teach the brain to shut off. Okay. If you're seeing one of these statements or anything else that's limiting, you are programming this beautiful, muscle in your head to work against you and not for you. So how can you switch this a limiting belief? Okay. How can you bust through? And it's learning how to catch yourself when that limiting belief starts creeping up and work through it. And here's some questions that I really love. If you say, I don't have enough time to do that, okay? I don't have enough time to look for deals, or I don't have enough time to sit down and put together a strategic vision for my company. Well, is that really true? Okay. Is it possible that, whatever your limiting belief is, isn't true? Is it possible that there's an alternative world where that limiting belief does not exist? And then my favorite question is stopping yourself when you feel this limiting belief kind of creeping up, asking the question, how can I create more time? How can I find a way to create my strategic vision? Okay. Just simply reframing these questions will start programming. It's like installing a new operating system on a computer. It will start programming your brain to work for you and not against you. Okay. So we all have limiting beliefs. Every time you level up, a new limiting belief is going to create beliefs are going to creep up. And if you're a follower of Tony Robbins, he calls them BS. Okay, now we are all adults here, and maybe you think that stands for, bullshit, but actually it's a belief system. Okay, so we want to trade limiting beliefs for positive belief systems. All right. The next reason why business owners and investors kind of, fall flat is because they lack a strategic plan. Okay, so this is huge. You have to have some sort of strategic plan in place, and it doesn't have to be overtly complicated. So let's talk about this. A plan requires you that you know 2 things. 1, where you truly are, and where you want to go. You have to have 2 points in time: where you are currently right now and where you want to go, some sort of future state that you're striving for. If you're operating without a plan, you're planning to fail. Okay, again, I know investors that I've talked to that they were like, I want to leave myself open to possibilities. A plan does actually leave you open to possibilities. You are just concretely aligning where you want to go with your mission in life. All right. So here's really the most if you've never done strategic planning before, this is a great framework to follow. One of my favorite books is called The One Thing, and this is kind of similar to The One Thing, but really, when you're creating a plan, what is your 5-year vision? Okay, I know people who go out 15, 20, 30 years in the future. If you've never done strategic planning before, start with 5. Like, where do you want to be in 5 years? What house do you want to be in? Where do you want to be living? Where do you want your kids to go to school? What kind of trips do you want to be taking? What kind of impact do you want to be making in the world? Okay, just create a vision around that, and then we can start putting tactical steps and numbers to that vision. Okay. Once you kind of have cast that 5-year vision, what does life look for you? How is your day going? What do you want it to look like? Now you can start putting action steps in place, and figuring out what you need to do this year to be on track for 5 years. Okay. Again, as you get better at this, you can start casting longer visions, but just reel it in, something that's really concrete. We can, most people can see what's happening in 1 year, where they want to be. Okay. So what do you need to do in 1 year to be on track for 5? Then we're going to start working that back. Okay. Once you've identified where you want to be in 1 year, now what do you need to do in the next 90 days to be on track to hit that 1 year goal? Okay. And then once you have that established, what do you need to do in the next 30 days to be on track for 90? All right. That it's when you pull it back down to that 30 days, what needs to happen in the next 30 days, that then becomes your action to-do list. All right. And we're going to talk more about that in our execution section. All right. It's not creating a long to-do list for 5 years or 1 year, or even to-do list for 90 days. It's what needs to happen immediately. Okay. To keep you on track for 30, 90, 1 year, and 5 year. Okay, think of them like dominoes. We're lining up the dominoes so we can simply knock them down. All right. The other thing is systems and teams. Okay. When you get your strategic plan in place, what does the next level look like? What do you need to have around you to be able to jump up to that next level? Okay. Really, anything that is repeatable needs to be turned into a process. Okay, now process can either be a system or it can be somebody that you bring on to do it. And we're going to show you how to delineate between the two. And this process could be for you, or it could be to delegate, okay, to say a family member, a virtual assistant, or a hired team member. A process can cover technology, can also cover, hiring a say like you need an acquisitions consultant for your company. Okay. It can also, a process can be, looking at data and generating reports to monitor the business. All right. So processes, it's a large bucket and all these things go into there. But let's take a look at how this needs to break down. Okay. So the question I would have you sit with is, what are those things that will help you move the needle? Okay. What do you need to be on track for 30 in 90 days? Okay, what will help you move the needle? Okay, weekly thinking time to plan. Okay, if you don't already have that on your calendar, make a date with yourself and keep it sacred. Okay, if you can only start with 30 minutes, fantastic. Get it up to an hour, 2 hours. All right, and this is where you can just, no tech, no computers, just you sitting down with a piece of paper, a book, and writing down, casting these visions, setting these goals, looking at your progress to make sure that you're on track. Okay. Maybe you need leads. Okay. Maybe it's investment leads. Maybe it's real estate leads. Okay. That's a process that needs to be put in place. It's going to happen over and over and over again. You're going to need leads to grow your business. You have to have the deal coming in. Maybe you actually are in the operational phase of your business or you're trying to get out of it, then you need checklists for each step of your operational process. Okay, so you can delegate those off to the team. Okay. Maybe you need a technology solution to handle your bookkeeping or your taxes. Okay. Or maybe you need a person to take this over. All right. Maybe that'll help open you up to work more strategically in the business. And then, what systems do you need in place to scale? All right. I know, when I started scaling my business here in the past couple of years, I can't possibly do everything. And there are things that I love doing, there's things that I don't love doing. How can I operationalize, put a process in place, a checklist in place, and delegate the things that I shouldn't be doing? And we're going to talk about what those things are here in a minute, or the things I don't enjoy doing off to another team member. Okay, what my zone of genius may not be somebody else's zone of genius. So we can definitely put together a team where we complement each other. All right, now we get to time management. This is a huge reason why businesses fail, why investors fail. Okay, they fail to focus on the right thing. Clarity is power. So where are you spending your time? All right, there's a rule. It's called the rule of 168. We all have 168 hours during the week. Have you ever wondered why somebody can just totally crush it and just continue to move forward and operate 30, 40, 50 businesses, and then somebody else struggles just with day-to-day life? Okay, it's a marriage between the systems, the teams, and time management. Okay, and that strategic plan. So you guys jump back, go find the video that I did on time and productivity. But here's like a little nugget snapshot. Color code your calendar. Okay, do color code it for what it is right now, where you are right now. Again, remember, if you're going to change anything, if you're going to make a plan for anything, you have to have 2 points: where you are, where you want to go. Okay, and then color code those activities. If you want to color code your activities gold, okay, if these are $2,000 an hour activities, okay, and I mean relationship building activities that are going to bring you an investment, a deal, a partnership. Okay, this isn't going to networking meetings. Okay, this is like a meeting that would yield you a minimum of a $2,000 deal out of it. Okay, dark green. Okay, color code any activity that would yield $500 an hour or more. Okay, and then systematize this process. Okay, maybe you hold on to these, maybe you do delegate this up, and make sure it's systematized, that it's repeatable. You're doing it during your most energized time of day. You can get in and out of the activity very quickly, and it happens consistently with a very high standard. All right. Then you got like your light green activities. These are like $100 or more activities, tend to be more administrative. And generally, we can either automate these with the tech solution, or we can actually delegate these to another team member so they can work on that. And it frees us up to move up the time management ladder. And then there's brown activities. These are activities that are like $0 to $10 an hour. Okay, maybe it's doing your laundry, cooking. Okay, if it doesn't provide you enjoyment and feed into your personal values, consider whether you need to be doing it or not. Maybe it yields no value at all, like watching television or movies or gaming. Okay, now there's a balance. I know there's some people on here that would challenge me on being able to like decompress and relax and stuff like that. But if it's not generating income for your business, consider eliminating it or delegating it. Right? The last reason why businesses tend to fall flat are that simply the investor or the business owner fails to take action, measurable action. They fail to measure that action, and they fail to course correct upon that action. So let's take a look what that looks like. So you, as the investor, have to decide that you're going to take massive action. Okay, this means you have to get yourself out of that DIY education data gathering phase and actually say, I'm going to do it. I'm going to make it happen in this timeline. We're going for it, right? You have to block time on your calendar to take that massive action, all right? Don't leave it to chance, okay? We can all put meetings on our calendars for other people and hold those meetings for other people. Let's do it for ourselves, okay? That meeting time has to be consistent and persistent, okay? So when you go into those time blocks, make sure that you are super focused on that massive action that you're going to take and that you've turned off all distractions, all right? Have you ever noticed that you can get so much done in the 4 hours before you go on vacation and that you might struggle with no forcing function to get 8 hours of work done? Okay, take that massive action. All right, measure everything. All right. I come from a research background, so we call it, measure everything before you collapse your data. So, measure where all your leads are coming from, who they're coming from, when they're coming from. Are they consistently coming in or are they not? Okay. Let's see here, guys. All right, there you are. Perfect. Okay, so measure everything, okay? And then once you are gathering this data, make sure to course correct at minimum every 8 weeks. Make judgment calls. What stays, what goes, what needs to come into your world. A framework that I love using is called start, stop, continue. What do you need to start doing to continue to move towards your next goal? What do you need to stop doing? Is there an action that you've taken that isn't fruitful or just a bad habit you need to get off your plate? And what's working really well that you should continue moving forward? And the only way you can be able to answer those 3 questions of start, stop, continue is that if you're measuring and gathering data. Okay, so your challenge, I always love leaving people with challenges. If you're watching this video, my challenge to you is make sure that you're blocking time to look introspectively on which area of your business you could do better in. Okay, is it busting through your limiting beliefs? Is it setting that strategic plan? Is it managing your time? Like where are you faltering, okay, and allowing yourself to stay stuck? And be super honest with yourself, okay? No rose-colored glasses, take them off, okay? Make sure you're being incredibly honest with yourself. And then guess what, guys? Execution. It's once you sit down and you've done an introspective analysis of this, line up which parts of these business facets that you need to focus on first and take action, all right? Whichever one you find yourself, maybe it's limiting beliefs that you say, hey, I got to crack through this right now. List 3 action steps that would take 30 minutes or less for you to do and schedule your action on your calendar and get it done. Okay, don't leave anything to chance. Okay, you are in the driver's seat of this process. So guys, I hope you guys agree this was time well spent so far. And if you are looking for help on boosting your investing game and building your real estate portfolio or investment portfolio, I've got the solution for you. It's called the Investor Accelerator. It's a mentorship program. And like the legs of a table. And just a quick recap who this is for, whether you're starting out or doing this on the side, this is for you. Like the legs of a table, I've talked about it. We've got to move ourselves out of education. Okay, you do have to have the right education. Okay, if any one of these legs of this table are missing, the table is going to fall over. Okay, so you have to have the right education. But once you have that, you have to get into having a strategic roadmap. Okay, you have to have that planning, and we help you do that by helping you create a lean investing roadmap, and we give you all the tools around mindset, vision, and strategy so you can continue to level up your game. Then, as we talked about here, one of the reasons why businesses fail, why investors fail, is because they lack a system and team. Okay, we help you create the right systems and team to run your business with ease. Okay, and I give you all of my checklists and tools and scripts and templates to help you shortcut your path to growth. Okay, because we want you leveling up and scaling, not being the operator of your investing business. All right. So we spend an enormous amount of time and support on how to scale. So we meet twice a month. Okay. We do 24 business growth calls and expert sessions to help you rapidly grow your investing knowledge. And we also do weekly Ask Me Anything hackathon sessions to help you bust through obstacles consistently and persistently. Remember, consistent and persistent action, guys. And then we have the ongoing support of our private community. So just think about it. With all the right education plans, systems, and support, how far could you scale? If you're ready to take action, I mean massive action, and make your goals and dreams a reality, let me show you what to do next. Jump over to ashwealth.com/apply and fill out the quick 10-second application there. We'll hop on the phone and make sure this is the right solution for you. Thanks, you guys, for sharing your most valuable resource, which is your time here with me today, and we'll talk soon.